Now you guys see it? All
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
All right. So cool. The first question, we're going to start easy. Easy like solve for x. Three x equal to 15. You guys love it, correct? So great. That's a good question. So we are looking for this x. They said solve it, so we have to have x one side and everything other side. You can say, oh, you can divide it by 3, and x will be 5, and you're done. Good. Same type of topic that we're going to solve. This is solve. Now I'm going to make it to 0.5x minus 3 equal to 7. So by end of this course or by middle of this summer session, when you see an equation at the big, I mean, before you jump to it and solve it, you need to know what type of equation is this. We're going to learn 6 different type of functions, like a linear, quadratic, cubic, logarithm. So it would be good to categorize it. So what type of function is this? Is linear, correct? Is degree 1, this exponent of x is 1. So you should, so because it's a linear is same as this one, is linear. Usually by adding, subtracting, dividing, and multiplication, you can have x by itself. So we have to get rid of -3, then you have to get rid of 0.5. If you don't know which one you should do first, so you need to email me, we make a session for you. So we add 3 to both sides. We get 0.5x equal to 10. Then divided by 0.5, divided by 0.5, and x will be 10 over 0.5. You can see that doesn't look good. You cannot leave it like this. And in your homework and exam, because everything is online, or you're dealing with the computer, you really need to know what type of answer they're looking for. Exact answer or rounding it to a few decimal is very important. So in this case, and you have a calculator, 10 over 0.5, you can use the calculator and the answer should be 20. Good. Let's make it a little more spicy for Wednesday morning. 2 parentheses x plus 5 minus 3 equal to 3x minus 8 plus 21. So is solve. We have to solve for x. Definitely is a little more advanced than the first 2 questions. But what type of equation do we have? Do we have a linear, quadratic, logarithm, or exponential? We'll say A, B, C, and D. Which one do you pick? What type of equation is this?
Linear?
Very good. I mean, for quadratic, we will learn is a one chapter about quadratic. You already know quadratic equations and formula in algebra, but in pre-calculus, one chapter is about quadratic. So it's not quadratic because it doesn't have a degree 2. You don't see any log, you don't see any exponential. It will be linear. Why did we pick linear? Because of the exponent 1 here. How do we solve linear? I mean, you should be super happy because only adding, subtracting, dividing, multiplication will solve it for us. In video, when I make in some of the video that I make, if I make a question like this, I would like you guys to pause the video and then solve it, and then see how do I solve it. Okay? But for now that I'm alive, I'm here. Anybody solve this?
I got 10.
Very nice. We got x equal to 10. Anybody else?
I got 10 as well.
Lucas, is that you?
Yeah.
If somebody else got 10, I will accept 10. Anybody got different number? Paul, what did you get?
I got 10 as well.
All right, man. So let me see if I get 10. Hopefully I don't. But so we're gonna solve, looks little complex. Not complex, I know you guys don't like it compared with the first question, but definitely we need to have x one side and everything else other side. And the little mistake, you're never gonna get the other, you're never gonna get the correct answer. So we have parentheses, we would like to simplify instead of the parentheses that you see that we cannot simplify. So then I start multiplying, we get 2x plus 10 minus 3 equal to 3x minus 3 times 8 is 24 plus 21 minus 20. All right, so now we don't have a parenthesis. We have to collect the x's. So I'm going to bring this one over here. We have 2x minus 3x, 10 minus 3 equal to 7, plus 7 equal to negative 24 plus 21 is negative 3. 2x minus 3x is negative x, plus 7 equal to negative 3, minus 7 minus 7. Negative x equal to negative 10, x will be positive 10. Very nice. So the person got 9, or the person got like a 10.1, or the person who didn't get 10 but did all the algebra, I mean, one small mistake, you're gonna get some other number. So you need to make sure you have to double check how did you solve it. Any question here? No question. Let's have some variable like S equal to RL minus A divided by R minus 1. What type of equation is this? We have no idea. Correct? We have S, we have R, we have L, we have A. So I mean, if somebody give us this one, we just need to say, thank you, what should we do with it? It's an ugly formula, probably it's physics, or I should be physics. So the question here is, I'm going to ask you guys, solve for R. So you need to have R by itself. Can you guys work on this? That's a loading. Sharis, did you solve it? David? Matt?
I have something.
You got something? So don't freak out when I call your name. I just want to memorize
okay.
your name. But then there is nothing to stress out. All right, so they are asking us to solve, correct? You know the meaning of solving. We need to have something one side, everything other side. I know you guys don't like it. I don't like it. If you bring some other math person with PhD, they don't like to solve it, but they ask us, so we need to do some algebra to get R by itself. But we have to be very careful to don't mess it up. So we have R here, and we have R over there. We have two R's. For a question like this, at one point, we need to factor the R. But for me, I would like to cross multiply to get rid of the denominator. So I'm going to multiply both sides by R minus 1. By R minus 1. Okay? So we're gonna have S parenthesis R minus 1 equal to R L minus A. This R you're looking for, also that R, there's same R. I distributed, we have S R minus S equal to R L minus A. I'm going to collect the R one side and everything the other side. I'm going to subtract RL, subtract RL. So this is gone. We have SR minus RL minus S equal to negative A. Good. So, okay. This is RR. I can get rid of this by adding to both sides. I'm going to add S to both sides. I have SR minus RL equal to S minus A, or minus A plus S. Now how do I solve for R? I need to factor it. So I'm going to factor the R, parenthesis S minus L equal to S minus A. I divided by S minus L, S minus L. We solve R. which is S minus A over S minus L. All right, was kind of long, but in this course, you should be expert on this. Expert means you should not know the solution by looking at the question. You should have a good feeling that you're able to solve it. That's it. You should not do any mistake. Mistake like not distributing S to this parenthesis. All right. Do you think I can simplify the answer, or this is a final answer? Anybody can tell me, can I simplify this, or is it, that's it?
I think that's the final answer.
Very good. That's the final answer. I know you guys see, oops. You guys see S here, this S and this S. We cannot cancel that, correct? We are not able to cancel it because this is a minus. Never think about it. If that was S times A, if we had S times A, S times L, you will cancel it. But if there's a plus and minus, you will leave it like this. This is good to go. All right. So any question here? Let's have more spicy, right? What time is it? Okay. We have 2x minus x y prime plus y prime plus 2y prime equal to 0. Your favorite question, solve. So we're going to solve for y prime. If there's 20 minutes to solve this question, let's say you have 20 minutes to solve it, I would suggest a 5 or 7 minutes of this. You just need to look at the question to see what we are dealing. What type of equation is this? Can you try to solve this one for me? Lucas, you solve it or just looking at it?
Just looking at it, trying to figure out where to start.
Very good. That's a good point. We don't want to just jump to the question then. Tamir,
Yeah.
you solve it?
I'm trying to figure out where to start as well.
Very good. Start with the coffee. Just have a coffee, relax. Banaz, did you solve it?
I'm working on it, trying to
Is that
figure it out.
Bana? What's your name? Banaz or Benas?
Benna.
Benas. Okay, Benas. Anybody solve this? Lindsay, did you solve it? Did you solve it, Lindsay?
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Very good. That's a good point. I mean, looks to me is complicated as well. This is, I mean, you're taking pre-calculus, then you're going to take calculus, calculus 1, calculus 2, calculus 3. After calculus 3 is differential equation. So this is the equation of differential equation. I mean, in differential equation, they ask you solve for y, not y prime. That's a different story. But for now, they just ask us what is y prime. So they're not asking us solve it using differential equation. So this is like one of the advanced math equation. But for us, we just need to have y prime one side and everything other side. All right? Is this linear, quadratic? Well, it's hard to say. Yeah, is it linear, quadratic, logarithm? What type of equation is this with respect to y prime?
Is it linear?
It's linear, correct? Because the degree is 1. I mean, I'm going to call it linear is the differential equation, but for us that we are just looking at this one, they ask us solve for y prime. That means x and y, they are number, like a 2 and 3. They ask us to solve for y prime. So the way I'm going to start, I would like to change the color first. Let's go to something pretty. Yellow, sunny today. It's hard to see, it's dark. So there's a parenthesis here. I would like to remove the parenthesis. We're gonna get 2x minus x y prime plus y y prime plus 2y y prime equal to 0. All right. The first step, I just did I do anything wrong here?
Wouldn't it be minus y prime?
Yeah. I did it purposely. I subtract. Oops. Minus. That's a mistake. If you do a mistake like this, everything will be wrong. If I do a mistake like this, well, I say I did it purposely. But for you guys lose points. And 1 or 2 questions like this, if you lose point, you're not gonna get A anymore. So we are looking for y prime, y prime, y prime. Unfortunately, we cannot combine them. The coefficient here is x times y prime, y times y prime. So we cannot collect them. Collect them means if we had like a 5y prime minus 8y prime plus 16y prime. If we had something like this, so we could just combine them. But here, because we cannot combine them, we will factor it. I will factor the y prime and parenthesis. I'm going to get negative x minus y plus 2y. This is the story about this 3. And we have 2x plus. I factor the y prime, not negative y prime. This is equal to 0. So if I multiply back, I will get exactly the same as this tree. Then I'm going to subtract negative 2x, negative 2x. We're going to have y prime, parenthesis, negative x minus y plus 2y equal to negative 2x. I divided by the parenthesis. Then we solve for y prime, which is this one. Negative 2x equal to negative x minus y. Well, we could combine negative y plus minus 2y. These two, we can just collect them. It gives us positive y. Is that correct? So here I didn't see it. Negative y plus 2y, I can combine them to get positive y. So this is going to be positive y, which I left it there. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So don't freak out of y prime or y double prime. So any question about algebra? So this was algebra. You will see this type of question in any chapter. Now let's go back to functions. You guys should saw 2 videos of me about talking about functions. Now I'm going to ask you guys. This is x, that's y. And I give you guys a graph, which is negative 5 goes to 9. And this is 7. 2. All right. My question is, if I call this one f of x, is this a function? Inside of this, I mean, in the video, I made a factory, correct? I said factory represents a function gets input and output. Then we went to the graph. Is this a function?
Yeah.
In order to say yes or no for the graph, we have to make a vertical line. So vertical line test here, it passes. So it crossed only at one point. So this is a function, which is great. So now can you guys tell me what is the domain of this function? What's the domain and what's the range? Also, by the end of this summer session, when you guys see the graph, you should be able to categorize it. You should be able to say, oh, this is a linear, that's quadratic. So linear is a line, quadratic is parabola, is that cubic, is that quantic, for example, is that exponential, or logarithm, something like this. So you should be able to categorize it. before you answer. I mean, probably I'm not going to ask you guys. When you see the graph, what do you think the graph will be? Is that linear? No. Is that quadratic? Is that cubic? Cubic looks like a chair. I mean, this is cubic, for example. You can sit down on the chair. Or S. But so if you go through your note sheet, all type of graph, you see that you don't know the equation of this one. If it was a linear, we knew it was mx plus b. If it's quadratic, it was ax squared plus bx plus c, correct? When for a question like this, that when you go through your note sheet and you don't know what type of graph is that, that's fine. I mean, we have to look at what question they're going to ask us. Here they ask us what's the domain. What do you think the domain will be?
-5 and 9.
How do you want me? I mean, -5 and 9.
Well, that's in coordinates, but in interval notation, it would be like x is greater than or equal to -5, and x is greater than or equal to 9. Equal, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. So the domain, that was the input of the factory, correct? Or the value of x. So this is the domain. And there's no way we can list them. There's no way we can say it's -5, -4.99, -4.98. There's no way we can put it in the set notation to 9. But we can visualize it that this is the domain from -5 till 9. How do we write it? You can just say it. That's what Lindsay said. Good, that works. But how do we write it in exam? There are two different ways to show the solution. One of them is interval notation. Interval notation, you get the bottom part or the minimum part, and you get the maximum, like a -5 and 9, comma 9. So now you have to take care of the parenthesis or bracket. The interval notation usually get bracket, for example, A to B, or parenthesis A to B bracket. So bracket means we are including the endpoint. Parenthesis means we don't include it. So -5, because it's a closed dot here, we will include it, but 9 is an open circle. So we have to put parenthesis. So this will be the domain. Domain is this. And if you want to write it in inequality, which it depends to your question, again, your homework, quiz, and exam, you need to follow what the computer asks you guys, because you're talking to a robot. If they ask you interval notation, you need to give interval notation. If they said inequality, inequality means you're going to use a set notation. You're going to say x such that this line means such that x is less than 9, greater than equal to -5, and close the bracket. To close the bracket, yeah. So this will be same as that. What is the range? Range will be the value of y. The bottom part of the graph is here, and it gets the maximum, it goes to the 7. So this much is the range. That means any point you pick here on this graph, the value of y is between 2 and 7. How do we write it? We can say bracket 2, comma, bracket 7. Or we're going to say y such that y is less than 7, greater than 2, has to be equal.
For the range, is it always brackets or no?
Good point. I mean, yeah, I use bracket because that 2, correct? This 2 is a closed circle, good. And 7, I don't see any open circle. So that's why I put bracket. Any questions? Does that make sense? The person will ask me. So in this course, what we're gonna do, mostly we're gonna deal with the graph. I give you guys a graph, find the domain and range. I mean, if you have enough practice, it will be super simple. And in pre-calculus, we usually study what's happening to the graph on they're saying what's the behavior of the graph in closed interval. So by the end of the year, when you see a graph, you should be able to analyze that's what's happening on the closed interval. Like I mean, what is the y-intercept? What's the domain? Is a function increasing, decreasing? Correct. That's what we're going to learn. And then we're going to study what is the behavior of the graph when it goes to negative infinity or positive infinity. So that's what will happen in this course. That's you will prepare to go to calculus to learn to analyze the graph in more details. So you're gonna see different ugly graph. Your job is to analyze it in the short distance and the long distance. All right, any question for me? Let's see how many people are here. 41, cool. Now let's have one question for you guys. F of x equal to ax over a plus x. So this is given. We say, thank you, we have something. We have f of x. We have a function. Anytime you see a function, you can assume again that's the factory one. All right, so this is f of x, and this is a recipe inside of the function. Good. Do we know this function? No, it's not linear, it's not quadratic, it's not cubic, it's not log, it's not exponential. This is a rational function. You will learn it in chapter 11, probably. But let's see what they're asking us. So we are okay that we have a function. What type of question they're going to ask, that's important. Good. Some of them are simple, some of them are complicated. Now, the question is, one, they're saying find f of a. That's what they ask us. I mean, if one goes inside of the function, the output gonna be a times 1 over a plus 1, which is a over a plus 1, correct? If 2 goes inside, we're gonna get 2 times a, then a plus 2. Agree? That's what's happening. But they're asking us, what is f of a? That means when a gonna go inside, what is the output?
Will it be A?
A. Okay, Lindsay said A.
A
Anybody
squared.
else?
Maybe a squared over 2a.
Matt, a squared over 2a. You took, Matt, did you take previous class with me?
Yeah, this last semester. Trigonometry, yeah.
Your name wasn't Matt? You think your name was something else?
Well, my full name, my full first name is Matthew. Yeah.
Ah, it was confusing. So well, there's the same picture with the different names. That's it's very important, guys. Name your profile picture, profile thing, same as in the school. Don't confuse me. I already confused. So A
Sorry.
squared over 2a. That's okay. I'm glad that I answered my question. Anybody else would like to share?
I got a squared over 2a as well.
I got the same thing as Matt.
Matt, you're
did as
famous
well.
now. But Lindsay is more famous. No. But anybody else? Ella, you want to say? Ella?
I got the same thing. A
So-
squared over 2a.
Okay. Anybody else?
I got the same thing. A squared over 2a.
Michelle?
A squared over 2a.
Okay. Did you take a class Math 130 with me or no? Yeah. All right. If we got a squared over 2a, if this is correct, you cannot just package it and sell it. Anytime you anytime you solve it, you have to make sure it's at the finest design or simplest form, and then we're gonna put it in Amazon and sell it. If a squared over 2a is algebraically is correct, should I just package it and sell it in Amazon? Or we are able to simplify, if that's correct?
We can simplify it.
Well, too late. I mean,
Yeah.
you need to simplify. Everybody followed you. You have a follower, but no, you were wrong. So a squared over 2a, you're able to simplify. But let's see, what do we get what is f of a? So f of, if I ask you guys to graph this, complicated. If I ask you guys what's the domain, complicated. What is the range, complicated. If I ask you guys where this function increasing, decreasing, crazy, complicated. But I'm asking you guys, if I plug this to the factory, what is the output? So your job is to don't do algebraic mistake. So I'm gonna say, where did I pick this? We have f of a will be a times a over a plus a. A times a is a squared. A plus a is 2a. I know you guys got super happy. Oh, we solved it. We got this. But no, you have to do one more step. This is a multiplication. A squared over a, it will be a over 2. So none of you guys were correct. The bad thing is that because you're taking it online, this is the answer. The a squared over 2a is not the answer. All right. So now let's make it a little more spicier. Same function, I'm asking you guys, let's pick a hot color, spicy. What is f of 1 minus a? Lindsay, you have something to say? You have something to say, Lindsay?
No.
Jessica.
I got a parentheses 1 minus a.
Okay, that's good. Cecily? Is that, did I pronounce it correctly?
Yeah.
All right, what is the answer?
I'm still solving it.
Okay. There are 41 people, 42 people, but how come I don't see them? Lucas, still thinking of the last question, or yes, you solved that?
I have an answer, but I don't think it's correct. I'm checking it.
Sell it to me. Just say it.
All right, I got a minus a squared.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's cool. Enas, you want to share?
I got the same thing.
Which
A
one?
minus a squared.
All right. Anybody else? Now Lucas gonna have a lot of follower.
I get the same thing.
Yeah. Now life is much easier. That's correct. I mean, let's see. So the level of difficulty of this is compare with finding a domain range, analyzing the long-term behavior or short-term behavior. We're just putting input, we're looking for outputs. So this is f of x. Here we have x, correct? And here we have x, and here we have x. If we change this one to anything, if you change it to, for example, flower, everything should be changed exactly same. If it's your name, whatever, is a house, you just put it there, correct? So now, I know you guys don't like 1 minus a, but this can be a house. You need to say, this is a plus, instead of x, you're gonna put 1 minus a. Instead of x, you're gonna put 1 minus a. So that's the first step. Now we get something that you guys don't like, but we're gonna simplify. We have parentheses, inside of the parentheses, we're not able to simplify. A times 1 is a times negative a is negative a squared over a plus 1 minus a. here you have to go back and review it to see if you did correctly or not. We do mistake, but I mean, if you review it and we didn't do anything wrong, a times 1 is a times negative a is a negative a squared. So the denominator, we can simplify a minus a will go away. Then the final answer is a minus a squared. So this is a final answer. So Lucas and Benas was correct.
Professor,
Yes.
how did you get rid of the bottom A and minus A?
Sure. Very good question. So you're asking here, correct?
Yeah.
We have a parenthesis. I will go inside the parenthesis first. For example, you put the ladder, you go inside the parenthesis to see if we can simplify it or not. 1 minus a, we cannot simplify, correct? There's nothing we can do. So now the next step is to, if there is a number here, we should distribute it inside, but there's nothing. So I can remove the parentheses. So it will be 1 minus a, and we had plus here, and a here. This is this a. Good.
Okay.
Not, I mean, any step that we did something, we need to know, are we able to simplify it or not? We don't want to package it and sell it. A plus 1 minus a. So you spend 1 or 2 minutes or 5 minutes to see, are we able to simplify this? If it takes more than 20 minutes, you need to call me. I mean, it shouldn't take that long. I mean, we're going to see a and a. They have, we should combine, collect them. So a minus a, it will go, correct? 1a minus a, it will, so the answer is 1. So on the denominator, put, it's good to don't, I mean, we don't need to put a squared, a minus a squared over 1. This 1 is not necessary.
Mm.
All right?
Yeah.
Any other question? Any question for me? I know it's being long, but let me have one more question, then I let you guys go. That much work we did. Hopefully is not how organized in your mind. Last example. I give you guys a function. So when you're thinking about function, let me share with you guys one. So this is a function. If you want to, if you color this one, if you print it and color it as a stress-free, you will get the function. Anytime you see a function, you should remember this drawing. Is a factory, gets input and gets output. So input, this is an input, correct, and these are outputs. I will put the PDF online if you guys gonna color it. So now I give you guys a function, f of x equal to x squared. So we say, thank you, we love it. We have a quadratic now. Now I can ask you guys like 100 different type of question or 1,000 different type of questions. From graphing, domain, range, increasing, decreasing, long-term behavior, short-term behavior. But for now, I'm gonna ask you guys, find, so you say, find and simplify. Anytime you find something, you have to make it prettier. Wow, look at my handwriting, it's not fine. So they ask us find f of 2, find f of 2 plus h. And to make you guys have a good day, I will ask you guys find f of 2 plus h minus f of 2 divided by h. So there are 3 questions. What's the first one? What is f of 2?
Four.
Very good. Did you use calculator? Andrea? Hernandez, did you solve it?
Which one? F of 2 or F of 2 plus H?
Let me the first one.
Oh, F2 is 4.
What was the second one?
That would be H squared plus 4H plus 4. 4.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Right, you have a dog too. Good. So let's, yeah, very good. Thank you. F of 2, this f of x is x squared. Whatever is here, you will square it. So 2 will be 2 squared equal to 4. Excellent. Now we have 2 plus h. I know it's confusing, but 2 plus h gonna be one thing. Like you can say this is a circle. It will be circle squared, correct? Now inside of circle is 2 plus h. So what is 2 plus h squared? By end of this course, we like to leave it like this, 2 plus, parenthesis 2 plus h squared. But the way Andrea, she simplified it, which is great. 2 plus h is like 4 plus 4h plus h squared. How this is coming from? By 2 plus h multiplied by 2 plus h. You will get this one. So this is correct. Also, this is correct. In your homework or exam, you have to, again, pay attention to the type of question, what they're asking you. Are, if they said in simplified form, I think this should be it. But factor form, this should be it. Now look at the last one, f of 2 plus h minus f of 2 over h. You will see this question, this format a lot in this course. Because in the calculus, you're going to use this formula. That's actually a formula to find the derivative of a function. So this course, we just learn how to simplify. So how do we simplify this? there is a line. There's nothing we can do with this h. So h going to be here, and minus is there. Value of f of 2, we know is 4. So I put 4 over here. What is f of 2 plus h? Happens that we solve it. If not, you need to simplify it separately, but it's happened to be one of the exercise. So I'm going to put, instead of f of 2 plus h, I'm going to put 4 plus 4h plus h squared. All right. For a question like this, anytime you use the h here, I mean, you should be able to differentiate it. That, I mean, you want to see this type of question a lot. So anytime you see this, somehow you need to cancel this h. I mean, you cannot just package it, say you're done. No, the h on the denominator should go away. Don't erase it, but algebraically should go away. So if you simplify the top, this 4 and the negative 4 will go away. We have 4h plus h squared over h. All right. Should we say we are done for this? No, correct? You, in your note sheet, you said that the h on the denominator should go away. So you need to simplify. Is h, so we can factor the h. We get 4 plus h divided by h, that this h and that h will go away. Good. If it goes away, the final answer will be 4 plus h. So this is a final answer. Any question? All right, guys, that's enough for today. I try to see if I can put this Zoom thing online that you guys can review. But I don't know how it records it. It looks like your picture is going to be there too. I will make sure. Let's see, I want to see how big is the file. You can transfer it to YouTube or put password for it that only you guys review it. All right. So keep up the good work. Don't give up. Don't freak out of some of the homework. I put a lot of homework for homework number 2. So don't just say you cannot do it. No, you're able to do it and you're able to get a good grade. Any question? Taylor, do you have a question?
Professor, I'm not able to see homework like 1 or 2 on Canvas. You know,
Let's see.